Hey everyone, what's going well? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be part 2 of mindfulness tips to improve your life by that much, because small daily improvements over time lead to great change. If you haven't watched part 1, I will link that somewhere on this screen, or if you don't see it on the screen, I will link it down below. Go ahead and watch that first. Just to recap, I talked about setting intentions, doing daily self-reflection, and slowing down. And now I'll just share 4 more tips on mindfulness practice. So tip number 4 is to limit distractions, specifically those that fall within the context of escapism. Escapism isn't inherently a bad thing. We can find positive escapist strategies to help us cope with harsh realities. Some of these may include reading, music, dancing, exercise, the list goes on. But it's important to evaluate if we are abusing certain strategies to a point where we're suppressing our own self-expansion and instead perpetuating a cycle of stress, anxiety, and depression. Some extreme forms could be substance abuse or addiction, but a lot of these distractions could also look like excessive gaming, binging TV, hours of scrolling on social media, or even binge eating. Again, these distractions aren't inherently bad. We need to eat to survive. Gaming can be a great tool for stress relief and self-expression, and social media can be a great source for inspiration and connection. Ultimately, the solution we're trying to find through these means of escape is comfort. But when these distractions prevent us from taking the time to process our thoughts and emotions and instead encourages avoidance, then it may be helpful to ask yourself, is this serving as the best solution in the way I need it to right now? As I mentioned in part 1, maybe this is feeding into that feeling of instant gratification. When we limit distractions, we can start to build the awareness around our thought patterns and habits, allowing ourselves to start healing the triggers that bring forth stress, anxiety, and depression, and break the cycle of avoidance and the need for escapism. Tip number 5 is active listening. Active listening helps us build connections, build trust, and avoid misunderstandings. How often do we listen just to respond? Maybe you're in a situation where someone is talking to you about a personal problem, and the whole time you're just thinking about what you want to say next to get your opinion across because maybe you want to appear useful or like you have the answers. But what this does is leave room for us to react in a way that isn't being open or allow us to fully process what they're saying. When we're trapped in our own way of thinking, it's difficult to be present and curious and interested. So the next time you're having a conversation with someone that you want to build a deeper connection with, set the intention to be fully open and present. Instead of providing opinions or answers, instead try asking more questions. Get curious. By asking open-ended questions and reflecting back what you heard, it helps the other person feel heard and seen, and it builds trust. And if you want to take it a step further, it also helps to validate this person's feelings. It lets them know that they have a right to feel what they're feeling without shame or judgment. And yes, this also applies to all you lovely couples out there. Getting defensive during a conversation helps no one. I speak from experience. There's honestly so much more to say about active listening and communication, so I will save that for another video. Tip number 6 is to listen to your intuition. I do want to mention our intuition may not always be correct, especially when influenced by thoughts based off of fear or ego. But with practice, we can learn to assess our intuitive experiences and learn when they're likely to be right. By developing our intuition, we can tap into a greater source of wisdom and knowing, and this can guide our decision making and identify our purpose in life. Often our intuition makes us feel pulled to do something or not do something for no logical reason. I suggest listen to it. Many of us are conditioned to go to our heads when we're looking for answers, or rely on logic alone. But the truth is, we carry so much knowledge in our body. Just to summarize, our intuition can come to us in one of 4 ways. Maybe we hear intuitive guidance in our mind also known as clairaudient, see intuitive guidance through images in our mind, known as clairvoyant, know intuitive guidance as breakthrough thoughts or downloads, known as claircognizant, or feel intuitive guidance as physical, emotional, or energetic sensations, known as clairsentient. The more we practice mindfulness and deepen the relationship that we have with ourselves, the more we can come to develop our intuition and understand the important role that it plays in our lives. And finally, tip number 7 is gratitude. Practicing gratitude can enhance our positive emotions, help reduce stress, and improve our relationship with ourselves and others. It allows us to focus on what we have instead of what we lack, and it allows us to acknowledge the role that others play in contributing to our lives in a positive way. Gratitude practice can take many forms, including journaling, telling someone that you're grateful for them or something that they did, or even giving thanks through prayer to whatever higher power that you believe in. And while practicing gratitude for what we have and for others is important, I also want to mention not to overlook the value of self-appreciation. Redirecting gratitude inward can make the difference to truly loving ourselves and our journey, and help us acknowledge our own strength and abilities. This can help us build confidence, promote positive self-talk, and show more compassion toward ourselves. Self-appreciation is about accepting who we are at this point in our journey and identifying the good even through the hard times. And now I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to you. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video. That's all I have. Comment down below something that you're grateful for and what mindfulness practices you'd like to start implementing more. Until next time.